In the last 6 to 7 months of rioting, the universities in Hong Kong has suffered quite a lot. Among them are the PolyU and the Hong Kong Chinese University. They suffered the most. Here is a letter written by the PolyU to his alumni. Before I start with the letter, let me just read you the appendix, that is a summary of the events that happened in PolyU around November 2019. So here's go. Summary of the incident. 11 November. From around 7 a.m. onwards, a few hundreds of protesters, after blocking the roads in the vicinity Hong Ham Cross Harbour Tunnel, were chased by police officers and entered PolyU campus. There were fierce confrontations between the two parties. The officers entered into the campus twice and shot tear gas. The university activated emergency measures immediately on the day, declaring class suspension after 8 a.m., strengthening security manpower, locking all buildings, maintaining communication with the police, and demanding the protesters leave the campus. The police stationed personnel around the campus to monitor the situation. 12th to 30th November. Within 2 days, a large number of protesters flooded into the campus, bringing with them a large amount of supplies. With a very great numbers of protesters, the campus situation was beyond the handling capacity of the university's security unit. Despite strengthened manpower, the university management maintained close contact with the police, and the police on the campus perimeter continued to monitor the situation. From 2 a.m. on 30th November onwards, protesters guarded the campus entrance, exercising access control. On 14 November, there were sporadic confrontations between the police and the protesters. The police fired tear gas twice in the vicinity of the AG core. The university management once again appealed to all people inside the campus to leave as soon as possible and announced suspension of all face-to-face teaching for the remainder of the first semester. 15th November. Protesters occupying the campus continued to increase in number and continued to control the access at all major entrances of the campus. The university management again strongly urged all people on campus to stop all dangerous or illegal activities and to leave immediately. The university management also strongly condemned all violence inside the campus. The police standby deployment was placed on high alert. On 16 November, the university found that some dangerous chemicals in its laboratories were stolen. The university reported the loss to the police for record out of concern for public safety. At night, protesters and the police were in fierce confrontation near the campus. 17th November. In the morning, a standoff and severe confrontations between the protesters and the police took place near the campus. From afternoon onwards, the university's crisis response team continued to liaise with the police, seeking a peaceful approach to handle the incident. Meanwhile, the university management issued another emergency message, again urging all people to leave the campus as soon as possible. The violent confrontations escalated by the evening, and the police besieged the campus. 18th of November, the university reached a preliminary consensus with the police on how to handle the incident. At 5 a.m., the president appealed via a video message to all those on campus to leave in a peaceful and orderly manner, stating clearly that he would accompany those who left the campus to a police station to ensure the cases would be fairly processed. In the afternoon, the crisis response team and senior officials of the police force met and reached a further consensus on how to handle the incident peacefully. That night, the council chairman and vice president of research development entered the campus to persuade those who are staying to leave. They brought out the first batch of people to leave the campus, while other crisis management team, crisis response team members were waiting outside. In early hours of the 19th November, PolyU president and a professor accompanied the first batch of people leaving the campus to Kwaichung Police Station. Subsequently, others who had remained also left the campus successively in an orderly manner. 19th to 25th November. In a coordinated effort, members of the university's crisis response team, faculty deans, and elected staff members of the council, staff members, professional counselors, and healthcare personnel enter the campus multiple times daily to persuade those remaining to leave. At the same time, concerned people from different sectors of society, including university presidents, professors, secondary school principals, and teachers, as well as political and religious figures, spared no time and effort to persuade those who remained to leave the campus. The university extended heartfelt gratitude for their contribution. After collective endowments for about a week, as of 25th November, the vast majority of those who had remained on campus had subsequently left. Among the 1,100 plus persons who left the campus peacefully, over 300 were secondary school students, while only 46 were PolyU students. 24th to 27th November. To confirm the condition of those remaining inside the campus, the university sent in more than 50 people in 7 teams to conduct a systematic search of the campus on 26 November. The manpower was strengthened to about 100 on 27 November. They were grouped in 9 teams to continue the search, but could not find any remaining people. After the search that day, the university asked the Fire Service Department and other relevant government departments to immediately handle the dangerous materials on campus and lift the police cordon. 28th and 29th November. Officers from the Fire Service Department, the relevant departments in the police force, finished their operations to dispose of dangerous materials and conducted an on-site evidence collection. 29th November noon, the police removed the cordon around the campus. The crisis response team members entered the campus immediately afterwards and inspected the extent of the damage. They briefed the media on site in the afternoon. So this is the description of the incident that happened at the Hong Kong PolyU between November 11th to the end of November 2019. We notice several things here. First of all, the summary described the rioters as protesters. So there is a sense of not reflecting the real people damaging the campus. These people entering the campus with an ill intention to actually cause chaos as well as damage the PolyU campus. I don't see any description about what kind of damage that has occurred. Another regrettable thing here is that the situation started way back in June at least, and the rioters blockading the Hornham Cross Harbour tunnel isn't the first time. It has occurred many times before November. I don't know if there's any any plan to contain the situation when protesters or rioters entered the PolyU campus. I suppose as a management team, they must have some plan to handle such situations. In the event when a large numbers of rioters enter into the campus, I think it's time to call the police. Instead, they choose to use its own security of people on campus. Obviously, it isn't enough, and that's why the Poly University has been so severely damaged. Okay, now next I'm going to read you the letter written by the management team to the alumni. Okay, here it goes. Dear alumni, it has been more than a month since the campus incident erupted. For PolyU, those 6 weeks have been the toughest time it had gone through its entire history, and it is a relief that the incident was eventually peacefully resolved. The restoration work at the university is now proceeding in full swing, and part of the buildings on the campus has been reopened. We sincerely thank our alumni and all caring members of the community for their concern and support. Over the past few months, the political turmoil caused by the opposition to the amendments to the Figurative Offenders Ordinance had drawn a number of universities into a whirlpool, with the incident on the PolyU campus being particularly intense, causing serious damage on the campus and affecting the operation of the university. The incident is indeed extremely regrettable and saddening. The university once again strongly condemns the acts of vandalism and violence on the campus. In this instance, the majority of protesters occupying the campus were outsiders. Of the more than 1,100 people who were left the campus peacefully, only 46 were PolyU students. In handling the incident, PolyU adhered to the principle of a lawful and peaceful resolution from the outset. The university's primary goal was to ensure the personal safety of all the people involved. To achieve a peaceful and humane resolution of the crisis and to avoid severe confrontations that would cause casualties. After the eruption of the incident, the university formed the Crisis Response Team, whose members include the council chairman and the management team to deal with the incident. Members of the team worked closely together and played their respective roles in a complementary manner. In particular, starting from 17 November, they work around the clock to liaise with the police and related government decision makers to identify a feasible, peaceful solution. The team then entered the campus numerous times to persuade people staying inside the campus to leave and bring them out in an orderly fashion. It was luck amid misfortune that the campus incident was resolved peacefully in the end. During and after the incident, we maintained close communication with different stakeholders, including the council members, the court members, department heads, colleagues, students, and alumni, updating them of the situation, addressing their concerns, as well as helping them understand what had happened on the campus from 11th to 29th November, and work done by the crisis response team during the period, as well as the restoration work after the university took back the campus. When the second semester commences, we will also communicate with students in due course. We understand that you care for your alum matter and are concerned about the incident, so let us elaborate on some areas that are of major concern as follows. Protecting the campus and strengthening security measures. The university management attached great importance to campus security and has made every effort to protect the campus. However, as PolyU is located near the Coast Harbor Tunnel and has adopted an open campus policy, it became a major target for the protesters who pressed ahead with the citywide strike and class boycott, with the numerous protesters flooding onto the campus in a short time. Through the university immediately activated contingency measures, such as strengthening security manpower and locking all the buildings. Our security staff could not stop the campus from being speedily occupied due to the large numbers of protesters. After the incident, the university has strengthened security measures, arranged for more security guards to patrol the campus and the surrounding areas, enhanced security checks at entrances, and restricted access to staff, students, and authorized personnel. Furthermore, we have set up the PolyU Executive Task Force on Safety and Security, a dedicated task force to comprehensively review, enhance the safety and security policies and measures on the campus and the student hostels, as well as oversee the implementation of related measures. Resolving the incident in a fair, lawful, and peaceful approach. No place in Hong Kong, including university campuses, is above the law. The police have the right to exercise their professional judgment to enter premises to uphold law and order and handle emergencies. In this instance, the police entered the PolyU campus twice when pursuing protesters. They also guarded the perimeter. The university maintained communication with the police, and after we discovered that some dangerous chemicals were taken away from the laboratory on 16th November, for the sake of public safety, we immediately reported the loss to the police for record. The university puts the safety of all people as top priority. We therefore sought to resolve the incident in a fair, lawful, and peaceful manner. After several rounds of communication with the police, a consensus was reached to allow those staying on the campus to walk out peacefully and in an orderly fashion. The incident was eventually resolved peacefully. Conducting tests to ensure campus safety. The university places great emphasis on the safety and the well-being of our students and staff. Upon taking back the campus, the university immediately collected environmental samples of water, soil, and surface wipe, and sent them to independent accredited laboratories for testing for contaminants. The university has received results on all the tests on water, soil, and surface wipe samples, as well as test results for CS powder of the air samples, while the remaining test results for the air samples are expected to be available in January 2020. According to the test results for the soil, tap water, and surface wipes, as well as the CS powder in the air samples, all aforementioned contaminants are well below their respective reference or reporting limits. In addition, we have carried out preliminary safety assessment of the building on the campus, including the testing of indoor air quality, filter replacement of air conditioning systems, and assessment of building structural safety, as well as the contamination of the individual buildings. After internal assessment and testing, some buildings and laboratories are deemed to be safe and were reopened so that colleagues and research students who wish to work could enter, commencing restoration at once and reopening the campus in phases. The university has carried out damage evaluations as well as cleaning and restoration work. During the peak period, about 400 people were engaged in related work daily, including a large number of alumni from a professional construction company run by a PolyU alumnus. We are deeply grateful to our alumni for their voluntary contributions. With the assistance of all the restoration work, with the assistance from all, the restoration work is making good progress. From 11 December, offices and laboratories in Block Y, Block Z, Block M, Block V, and Block X were reopened in phases. The rest, except some floors of the library and the AG core, will also be reopened before the second semester starts in January next year. Academic support for our students and resuming normal campus operations. During the class suspension, the mode of teaching was changed to online format. The academic registry has also provided related guidelines on learning arrangements. Furthermore, we are concerned about the emotional impact of the incident on students, and USD has in particular provided face-to-face counseling services and 24-hour counseling hotlines for students in need. The USD is keeping abreast of the needs of the students through a variety of channels and have been in close contact with the Students' Union. When the second semester commences, the President will meet with the students to listen to their thoughts and views. Our thanks to your support. As we went through this unprecedented and daunting challenge, we are deeply grateful for your kind consideration, generous support, as well as the precious suggestions. As the campus restoration is yet to be completed, we rely on your continuous support in all aspects. Your views on and participation in the restoration work, as well as the university's further development, are most welcome. At the same time, we hope that you could help ensure others have a more comprehensive understanding of the events that have affected our campus. Every single tree, every single piece of red brick on the campus was built, cherished, and inherited by generations of PolyU members. After the incident, the hard-earned reputation and tradition jointly contributed by the PolyU community over the past 18 years are treasured even more dearly by each and every one of us. The challenge we have encountered is an embodiment of our solidarity. Upholding the motto, to learn and to apply for the benefit of mankind. PolyU continues to strive with our commitment in nurturing talents through teaching and learning and scientific research and contributing actively to our society and the development of Hong Kong and the nation. May we wish you all a Happy New Year. Let us start afresh in 2020, joining hands in unity to write a new chapter for PolyU. The signatories are Dr. Lam Tai Fai, Council Chairman, Professor Jin Guang Tang, President, Professor Philip C.H. Chen, Deputy President and Provost, Dr. Marinda Lau, Executive Vice President, Mr. Andy Tong, Vice President, Campus Development and Facilities, Professor Alice White, Vice President, Research Development, and Professor Ben Yong, Vice President, Student Affairs, the Hong Kong Poly Universities. Okay, this is the letter to the alumni. What I find missing from this report is how the university is going to rebuild its reputation. We know that an incident like that has big damage to both the reputation and the psyche of this university. I don't see any suggestion of how it can be done. What I'm seeing here is a very superficial response to a very important incident. It only reported about how to rebuild the hardware of the university. What about the software? What about the professors, the students, their reputations? What are the management reflection on why this happened? Why there's no precautions beforehand to prevent such an incident to happen? Prevention is always better than repair. What we don't see is any strategy at the beginning. Let's say in early November or late October, knowing that the protesters has been blocking the Hong Kong Coast Harbor tunnels for some time. So it is inevitable these rioters will enter into the PolyU campus, and the security force on campus would not be sufficient to handle this large amount of rioters. They should have invited the police into the campus much earlier. Instead, they choose to allow the rioters to enter the universities and even control the access to the universities. I think the management team need to answer many other questions. So this is what happened and what the universities wrote to its alumni. I hope I will be able to report to you how other universities has contacted its alumni. I myself is an alumni to the University of Hong Kong, but I don't see any messages sending to me from the universities. I don't know whether they have actively contacted any alumni. I will try to contact some younger graduates and see whether they have maintained a contact with the universities and what is the response from them. I will be looking forward to report to you another major universities which was involved in this incident, the Hong Kong Chinese universities. But I will have to wait until a proper response comes in. Then I will let you know what the university management is planning to do. At the meantime, if any of you have contacts with the other universities, please send in their public statements or letters so that I can disseminate to more people and let the wider community understand what is happening. Thank you very much.